No other hosts like me. Come check it out. You'll see.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh my God.
Yes, bloopers.
I just can't do this. Like, it's so easy, but it's like,
I don't want to.
it's just annoying. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Off Book Podcast. I'm Kim Exum.
I'm Ngozi Ayan.
And I'm theatrical ancestor and elder Jason VC.
Yum, yum, yum. Oh, I love that. If you're wondering why Jason put on his actor voice, is because while Kim recovers from her opening, it's because we were talking about how, have you ever noticed how our blickety black elders all sound like Audrey Hepburn? Or like
Catherine. It's Catherine.
Like Catherine. Oh, Catherine. That's right. Catherine Hepburn. Got it. Catherine Hepburn, or the oldest English white person. Have you all noticed this? Like the blackest
connect.
You must
yes, they're all
connect
like
to our ancestors who are on the ships coming over the continent to this very day.
Remember the Middle Passage. Your
Don't
ancestors.
bring in your white mentality here.
The sweat, blood, and tears we poured into the grains of the wood on every stage across America.
Oh God!
I can't. They really do be sounding like that, though.
We do. We love
Jesus
our older
Christ.
blacks. We love our older blacks.
We do.
We hate colonization, but we love our older blacks. And but we can't have one without the other. And so here we are.
That's true.
How y'all doing?
Yes, I was about to ask that same shit. And yes, come on now, show Mid-Atlantic exactly. Darling, we must get started on the show now.
And still I rise.
And still I rise. Remember your ancestors coming over from the slave ship. The Middle Passage, which was shaped like a triangle, which is life transformation, death life transformation. We go through it cyclically.
That's very good.
It's like Eartha and Maya.
Yeah, yes.
It's intended. Yes. I get a lot of Eartha Kitt, like, oh my God, you remind me of Eartha Kitt. And I'm like, I love Eartha Kitt. But in my mind, I feel like she was light skinned, but she wasn't this light. She was not as yellow as me. So I feel like I might not want to touch her just because. But I feel like if I were to do a show, like a cabaret or something, I could insert her into my thing. Yeah. I also do like, okay. do her? Oh, do it. I can't do it yet.
Do it.
No, but I do that. Well, she had a long career. And also her early career, she was singing those soprano notes.
She truly was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Baldwin, Kit, Tyson. Yes.
Yep.
They all had it. All of them. It's like they sent them to a school, like the Mid-Atlantic School of Language or something, and they
that's Mid-Atlantic is made up. Like that was something that Hollywood kind of helped create.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool how much power they used to have? I mean, it sucks because they like drove people crazy, but you know, like how much
they kill people.
They killed people. They literally murdered people.
They fucked up people.
Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Maryland.
They escorted people to the dark side.
Yeah.
They killed the shit out of people. But you know, but we love it. Anyway, how was y'all week? You know.
This week, what did I do this week? This week was I'm getting ready to move to NYC. So what did I do? I feel like I did a lot, and then I feel like I don't remember any of it. Like, oh no, I did a presentation. I'm working on a musical. I'm working on my first musical as a book writer. And I did a presentation with the composer for our director and the orchestrator. So that was cool to like accomplish that. I remember saying yes to that a long time ago and being like, why did I say yes to that? I don't have time for it and I can't handle it. Like I get very daunted. I say yes. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that commission. And then that blank page blinks and it's like, I got nothing for you. I got nothing for you niggas. But then musicals, like, it's so collaborative. You don't have to do everything yourself. So it doesn't have to be as scary as it feels. So the other composer, he's so excitable and so like lovely. So it's very much like a 50-50 collaboration. So it's super fun working with him. And I feel like if the quarantine hadn't happened, we probably would be busying ourselves with our other projects. So we really have like a draft that I'm proud of. And then we showed it and then I got depressed because there's no theater. You know, I was like, yay, and then no one's gonna see this.
But you had actors and everything?
No, we did it. So because
so
me and Nikos like played the music and did the lines and our director and our orchestra, they read some lines too. And we just kind of, and we also had to do it for the producer. So we taped it and recorded it for the producer. And it was cool. So it was cool to do that. But like, I get like a big adrenaline boost when I'm done, like when I've done something. But then when you workshop it online, you do it. And then it's just like depression because it's like,
sure,
this won't be seen any sooner than like maybe 2 years. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Or like you get it done and then I'm like, oh, it's done. And then that's it. I'm going to go back into my room now. I'm going to turn off the lights now, my ring light, and go to sleep, I guess. You know what I mean? But it's like 2 p.m. and I accomplished the most things I'm going to accomplish for the week today.
Right. That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. But it was lovely. Oh, what's that sound?
It was my mic.
Okay.
Sorry, I picked it up.
Yeah. But it was like a good productive week. What'd you do, Jason?
I did. It was now that I think about it, I did a lot of like putting my like filming things. Like I had some auditions, but like I had to just film. I had to film a song, and then I had to do. There's this project with a theater here, where I'm at, where they're doing basically Cliff Notes versions of 10 Shakespeare shows. So they could put them out into schools.
I love that. It's kind of like, is it kind of like The Public? Like when they do that, small?
Kind of. The initial idea is for like, when this theater does productions, you send these packets to the school so the kids can get prepped on it or whatever, but they're also using it as study tools. So I did 3. I did Love's Labor, Midsummer Night's Dream. No, 4. Love's Labor, Midsummer Night's Dream, Othello, and Romeo and Juliet. So I had to put my sections of those.
That sounds like a dream.
On tape before, so I was in the land of iambic pentameter.
I love that land. I love it so much.
I love the land too. I like going back to it. I like hitting it up. I was also glad to because they like didn't cast me as like the regular black tracks. So
I love that.
Right. So I was like, I got to do Iago.
Okay.
And
you would have great Iago.
Nice.
Yeah. Because you wouldn't play the villain, even though it's, what's he that says that I play the villain?
Yeah.
All right, light skins. All right. I see y'all.
So that was fun. And then what else did I do? I also made an intent to like tape everything and record everything that I was supposed to watch, and fell asleep at everything this week. Not because everything was boring, but because
you're just tired.
I'm tired and I'm watching it at the end of the night. I need to stop doing that. And I'm waking up and I'm like, wait, what happened? Now I gotta watch all of these things over again. And I started watching 6 Feet Under again.
Okay, you started the thing over again. Okay.
That finale. So back in the day, like I wanted to write for television. Back in the day when I was on a cruise ship, I was like, I have nothing to do. Maybe I should read a book on how to write for television. I literally have a book right back here that says it's called How to Write for Television. That's what the fucking book is called. It was a pretty good book though. And
I'm like, I bet you it's got some gems.
It's got like some Bob Newhart stuff in there. Like it's got like some nice examples. And one of the recommendations was like, please watch the last episode of 6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
Interesting. Everyone loves this episode. I hate this episode.
It's not really the
I might have to go back and watch it.
It's just the montage.
I know. I hate it.
You hate it?
I hate it.
Why?
I don't
I don't know. I remember watching it and like not being into it, and I remember everyone being like, "Oh, that mom." I don't know why. I have to go back. I have to go back.
I'm kind of with you on that. I don't
Okay.
hate it.
I have to go. I'm removing you guys from the stream.
I loved it. I just thought it was kind of like, it just seemed to us like, oh, like it didn't seem like unexpected. It's kind of like, oh, they're wrapping things up. Everyone's dying.
That was the point.
To do.
So the example, so in this book, like she's using different examples from different shows just to show you like a perfect examples or next to perfect examples. So as far as like wrapping it up and staying within the theme of the show. So it's like the theme of the show is that, you know,
everyone's gonna die.
And the mood that they created, and how she basically said you can literally watch the final episode of this show and understand what the entire show was about just for watching this one episode, and pretty much saying that is kind of what a cap, like a nice, if you want to wrap your show up or get the opportunity, because a lot of times you don't get the opportunity to, then that's a perfect example how to do it. I thought it was beautiful, but mind you, I didn't watch the series. I just watched the final episode, and I was
interesting.
I was weeping.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. I was a big fan of the show.
Yes.
Thought it jumped the shark the last season, but still really enjoyed it. I think it even got like stranger and darker.
It's
right?
Yeah.
And then I think for me, the end actually felt light.
I thought it was very ABC Family.
Yeah, I felt very light. Like, and then this is that person running to the end of their, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
You know, maybe
but it didn't match.
Scared. You know, like I think sometimes when you get into things about death, especially when you're wrapping something up, it does kind of become this existential crisis. Like when you look at, you're like, shit, one day, what the hell? I swear to God.
It's good. She's on mute while she's cussing somebody out. She's telling somebody that they should not be calling her during this time she's doing the show.
Yeah, and also too, like the ending, like
you're muted, Kim. So if you're talking to us, we don't hear you. Oh, she'll be back.
Because it was also very like everyone got their wishes. Everyone died happy.
Yes.
That's kind of like, okay.
But I was like, he died happy? Are you sure? Like that. So that was my thing. I was like, well, that was a nice ending.
Right.
I didn't think it didn't feel like a show that would give you a nice ending. I think that's probably why I watched the show in real time, like when it had come out. So I was like kind of annoyed. But I was kind of annoyed by like all cable and TV show endings. So I was kind of like, just cancel shows.
I love watching it back now because I'm kind of just like, I'm gonna go on record right now. I don't care what anyone says. David never deserved Keith. Keith should have left that white man a long time ago.
Facts.
Sorry. No.
Facts. Absolutely. Yeah. You know what show I've just got tapped into? Good Girls. I'm like in the beginning of like I'm like, I'm going back to network TV. Like NBC has me. I was like, I've been on the This Is Us train since the quarantine. This Is Us has really killed it. Like really, actually.
I had to give up on This Is Us after the second season because I just don't like. I just feel like I'm being manipulated the whole time.
I mean, you absolutely are, but it's Sterling and Kelechi's show now.
I know. Oh, is it?
And
is it?
It's their show now,
okay.
And so it's a show about them and these white people that are just in their way. You know, and you know, just in Sterling's way. They're all in Sterling's way. Get out of Sterling's way. He's trying to live his life. Sterling is trying to live his life. It's superb. Like it probably has the best quarantine post George Floyd episode. Beautifully written. Right. Beautifully. And then so that one on NBC, Good Girls, I just started. I'm like, this shit is fire.
Let me tell you something about Good Girls. First of all, I support all things Mae Whitman. All things Mae Whitman.
Is that the creator?
No, Mae Whitman plays the youngest. She was on Parenthood.
She was on Parenthood. Yes.
Retta. I mean, all three of them were saying that the one of the villain, the finance, his name is the real.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
So good. I just started it and I'm so happy. I'm gonna try and watch it slowly.
Right.
And then Zoe's fucking extraordinary fucking playlist.
Oh my God, Vera Lopez is gonna kill me because she's always telling me about this show. She's like, you have to watch it. I was just like,
You do.
I hear it's good. It's just that I always forget. That's what
You
I'm
do.
supposed to watch.
I'm gonna have to say you're gonna have to get through the pilot because the pilot does not do what it needs to do.
Okay.
And so I know many people have been like, but if you like the last moment in the pilot goes, oh, if they keep doing that, they're on to something. And it was my first quarantine watch. And then it was incredibly moving. And then this second season is like, I'm like, where is it? Where is it? And they're trying to give Jon Stewart an Emmy. They're trying to do it. They're like, they're
Jon
giving
Stewart's
him.
on it.
He's on it.
Okay.
He's everyone's like, Alex is killing it. Alex is murdering it. Jon Stewart is
So
destroying
the
it. It's great.
premise is Zoe hears people's thoughts, but via them singing.
Yes.
Okay.
So she hears her inner thoughts, and through that, she can tell that something's going, like, you know, so she kind of tries to solve the problem with them. And it's usually their inner turmoil. So whatever their thoughts or whatever, it's a thing that they can't say.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. And it's through a pop song. So it's always a popular song.
And people are twirling and people are singing their face off. It's
People are twirling. People, even the ones who like don't really sing, they're giving you like, so you think you can dance choreography. So it's Mandy Moore's a choreographer, and Jon Stewart is giving you like, he's giving you like footloose, like contemporary dancing. And I'm like, Ted Dance's wife is giving you like, I was like, what's happening? It's great. It's a great show.
I shall try. Thanks, Crystal.
Yeah, but it's a great show. We just went off on our favorite TV shows, even though this is Broadway Black. We don't care.
Oh, favorite TV shows like of all time?
Not all time, just the shows I'm getting into. And I was like, NBC has my heart. This Is Us. I just started Good Girls, and Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist is fucking.
It's really
excellent.
good.
It's really, they're doing some really excellent work.
Musical TV, so I've never checked it out, but I'm sure it is good. Just like how everyone's like, Glee is amazing, and I'm like, I'm sure it is, but
it's better than Glee. It's not Glee. It's not Glee.
Oh,
and I actually did enjoy it. Like first couple seasons of Glee, I really enjoyed.
People said it was great. It just, I don't know why I don't like musical TV. Right now, what am I watching? I'm watching Drag Race from season 6, starting. Nice. So nice. I'm always watching Murder, She Wrote, and I know that doesn't count as a new show, but I've seen all of it, and I always watch it. And what else? Jason and El Morgan keep telling me to watch something, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Veneno. I haven't watched it yet.
It's on HBO Max.
Okay. Is that like which one is that one?
It's about this trans celebrity who was also a prostitute in the 90s.
Does she have like red hair in the pictures and the advertisements?
At times she does.
Jason, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is it possible? Do you have headphones or AirPods?
Yeah, let me get my
Okay. I'm just gonna remove them very quickly. I don't know what I'm watching that's new. Oh, WandaVision.
I haven't started it. Don't say shit. I have not started it.
WandaVision. It's so good. And I listen to the soundtrack from every episode. They release it. Okay. Bring it to me. I'll close it. It's a slow start, but I liked the slow start because I live for that like retro vibe. But all the music, and this is theater related, is done by the Lopez's. So
cool.
They do the music, and then there's a composer. Ezzy, what's stuck?
The black thing.
Well, give it to me.
Well, it's stuck.
What are you talking about?
The black thing is stuck.
I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what happened to Jason, but he should be coming back. But WandaVision is great, and they have some like really good tunes and jingles because it's like an homage to old TV.
Yeah.
But y'all talked about your week, so I guess I'll talk about my week since I'm finally back.
Yes.
So my week, what did I do? Oh, I helped Jason film some shit. And it solidified my place as a very good reader. Like I'm really good at reading. I've read for a couple people this week, which was fun. I like being a reader. The only hard part is like Ezzy, just because she's loud and shit. Like I was doing a reading with one of my friends, and it was quiet until it wasn't. Like it was quiet, and then from the other room you just hear ding 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 on the piano that she has. And he's sitting there doing his sides, and I'm reading. And when we get to the end, I was like, "Did you hear Ezzy?" He was like, "Yes, I did."
Yes, I
like,
did.
wow. I was like, "Okay, well, at least you got what you needed." So I did that, and then what else did I do? I looked up a lot of my family ancestry. That's like my new thing now. And What else? I ate indoor dines, and yeah, just like and I listened to some of Dreamgirls Clubhouse yesterday.
I did that as well.
Yep, I
I did a
did.
little bit of that as well.
Just a little bit of that, and
They have them going on now, right?
The last cast starts at 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched.
Okay.
I did well, pretty much. I did the first cast, did a majority of the second cast, and I popped in a little bit today.
Okay.
But then that's a lot of Dreamgirls.
That's a lot of Dreamgirls.
It's a lot of Dreamgirls
in a row. It packed in.
I caught the Broadway. Most of the thing that I caught was the Broadway thing because I was sitting down getting my nails done. Mm-hmm. And then I caught literally the tail end of the up and comers or the breakout star cast or something.
Star cast.
Is that number 2? Was that the second one?
The second cast. Yeah. And there are 4 casts. So it was interesting. I definitely think I will say this. They impacted the community in a positive way. I think that a lot of people were inspired by what they did. A lot of people loved listening. And I think that if that's what they set out to do, I think. So I think that that's a win for them. And I think that it definitely can be used as a template for other musicals because for what the medium is, it's hard to navigate. It's different because it's not quite theater. So you can't really go all the way there like you're on stage because you're literally on the phone.
It's a vocal experience, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're yelling or screaming, you're literally yelling at people through the phone. Yeah. It's like my roommate said, it's like texting someone in all caps. Yeah. Like, so.
Right.
Yeah, I think that if you're a creator, a Clubhouse creator, what even is that? Okay, go get your rain boots. I can get them.
Also, let me know if this is better, sound wise.
I think it's better.
It was cool because it definitely made me feel like I was listening to a radio play, and I love seeing like how that affects, particularly with people who are in the Broadway cast who have done the show before, how that affects how the story is being interpreted just through sound.
Yeah.
All the narrators to me were the stars of the show because the
narrators. It was almost to the point of like it was so like some of the narration I will say wasn't necessary. Like we could just follow the story.
Because the narration was new, right? Like that's not in. They like. Okay, it was like a lead in into the scene, but then they would describe the scene, and the scene would happen.
Like, you didn't really need that descriptor.
I feel like the only reason why it was necessary is because you never know. There probably is someone in there who doesn't know Dreamgirls, but I would say 99.9% of the people that were listening are Dreamgirls fans.
Yeah,
and know the movie. So I don't think it was very necessary to do that, but it did. It added something for me.
Yeah, you're like, I had a great time.
I had a great time.
It was
with the narration.
The narrations were great, and the jazz singer. I don't know that woman. I followed her immediately on Instagram.
I liked her a lot.
Oh my god, the vocal! I was like, this was a very unnecessary part. I know we're doing the movie. This was only added for Loretta Devine. Like it literally has no plot. It doesn't move the plot along whatsoever. It's just for her. I mean, it's just like, oh Jimmy. Oh damn, my phone is ringing again.
So also too, it also made me realize that one thing that I will never forgive the creatives of Dreamgirls for is for cutting out Ain't No Party from the movie. I think I'm never going to get over that when they cut Laurel's number. But apparently, for y'all who are watching, apparently there was a tweet about Ain't No Party not being in it, and Alex Newell commented and said, "Well, not in my grouping. I firmly requested it." So apparently, in the last performance, Laurel gets to sing "Ain't No Party."
Okay.
Oh, but who is Laurel in the last performance?
They haven't announced it yet.
Is it Kayla Davion? Because I just am like, you cast her as Laurel and didn't have her sing "Ain't No Party." What's the point of casting her as Laurel? I firmly believe she's Adina, by the way, and I've said this so many times. I firmly believe that
you did. You said this on our text chain.
I'm like, she is a Dina, and I feel offended that like she sang the crap out of Laurel Loves Jimmy. I will say that. Like she sang the vocals were giving they were giving vocal. I mean,
Just
they were
vocals,
all
yeah.
singing. The only thing is that, and like we talked about this, Jason, in our group chat that we had, was the thing that gets lost in Dreamgirls to me a lot is the story and just kind of like paying attention to that text there, like with Jimmy Early, the mellow sounds of Jimmy Early. You know, he's got to be mellow. You know, you can't direct Jimmy to take us to church if they're gonna say the mellow sounds later on, because we're like, what? And also it takes away from the rap. If Jimmy is literally acting a fool vocally for the entire show, then why does he snap and do that rap?
Sure.
There's certain things in the show, I believe, that are just like with Dina. Like, if you're gonna have Dina do Listen, Dina's gotta be straight and nothing. She's got to be plain Jane. If Curtis is going to say, you know why I chose you to be the lead of the Dreams? Because your voice has no personality. That's literally what he says to her in the movie. So if her voice has no in the movie, but they're doing the movie version.
Yes, right, right.
So if you're doing the movie version and Dina's supposed to have no personality until she sings Listen, then Dina's got to have no personality until she sings Listen. And that can be hard, I think, to translate, especially just through the radio or through Clubhouse. I can't do this.
She'll be back.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was, you know, when I saw how many people were watching, which I weren't surprised, or listening to it, I should say, which I wasn't surprised, then my mind starts going, okay, this is clearly, ever since the audition, the people who are in charge of Clubhouse have been like, ching, 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 ching. So what is this going to do in terms of forwarding this being becoming a performance platform? And now that this is a success, because it's not the first one that's been happening, but it's the one that's been the biggest deal that's been made out of it. Sure, now after that, now my thing is kind of like, well, how are niggas supposed to be when are the niggas getting money? Who's getting money?
Who's getting money?
Because now that this is a success, I know the Clubhouse is going to be able to do something with it, but like, what does that mean for the people who are doing it for Clubhouse?
Yeah, like, what does this mean from what I heard? Word on the street is that eventually they will be able to charge for these experiences.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing that whoever is producing these experiences will get a cut of whatever they've charged. I'm guessing that that's how it's going to move. But someone had asked, do y'all think more shows will expand to audio experiences via Clubhouse? I mean, they already have. It depends. I'm whatever. I'm going to be myself. So my issue, besides the rights and besides the thing of it, is that for me, I'm not in love with Dreamgirls. I like the musical. I have a good time with it. But if I want to hear a great version sounding of it, I'll listen to the Dreamcast. I'll listen to the original cast. I'll YouTube a cast. I'll whatever. So for my issue was like the production value of it wasn't good enough for me wanting to sit through the whole show. Right. And so for me, I am wondering, how are they going to be able to produce these so they actually sonically sound good? Because there's literally a whole place called Audible and other places where you can listen to theater that will do the sound effects, that will have the whatever, that will be professionally made. And I'm sure there is something really lovely and fun. And I think it's easier with plays.
Definitely.
But I don't know yet how you can do this with everyone, whatever, unless they have really great equipment, really whatever, really great rehearsal. And then you are going to have to pay people to put all that together and to produce that and to perform that. So I don't know.
Well, once people are able to charge people to listen, once money is being made, some union is going to be sniffing around and being like, whoa, wait, so y'all charging people for this performance of Dreamgirls? Great. So
the voiceover union.
Someone is going to be like, are these people getting paid? Where'd you get the right? Because as of right now, too, particularly with the musicals, a lot of people they've been able to do musicals because they're doing the movie versions of musicals, which is not the same thing as getting the rights to the musicals.
Correct.
Right. So if someone says, oh, well, we should do, let's do Murder Ballad, the musical. Well, that's going to be hard because there's no movie version script you can do that. You're going to have to find the rights somewhere, and someone's going to be coming for you if you start charging. So money was raised to send the cast equipment. I think that's dope. I hope the cast got to keep the equipment.
Money
how that
was
paid off.
raised, and money. Someone got money, and money was raised. Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Where the money reside? Those are my questions. Those are all my questions. But the actual shows are not affiliated to Clubhouse, so it's just producers doing it for clout. Now, I think this is the big. You know what, Luis? I don't know. I think this is the beginning. I think yes for clout, but I think this is the beginning of something else. I also did notice that there were casting directors.
Yeah,
That you know. They were all there. So, you know, so hopefully this is an opportunity for when theater comes back up or for, you know, TV and film, you know what I mean? But so it's not just for clout. This is the beginning of people trying to market this and turn this into some sort of opportunity. I don't know how it will manifest itself. I don't know who will get the opportunities. Maybe the performers, just like from hearing some great voices, they will get more opportunities from this, which would be great, quite frankly. Like if that happens, then it was not all for naught, you know? But yeah, we'll see. I'm wondering because it's true. He did get that producer did get money to make this. And for me, for my liking, for my taste, it wasn't up to par for me as a listening experience. But I also know it's a very experimental like way of doing it. So it's like, we'll see. I
mean, as of right now, the app is not built. The app is not built for that. So maybe they'll be like, let's figure out, you know. So, but yeah, it's great. I definitely, you know, my interest has peaked in the musicals on Clubhouse, right? I'm a little bit musical on Clubhouse out right now.
Yeah, I think the plays are just easier and a better success because it just requires a person and their voice and calibrating that. And you can do that in rehearsals. I don't know yet how you can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't did they do a sound check? Like I have all these questions. Did they do a sound check? Did they do a tech? Did they do a...
I feel like a lot of things. Oh, I'm sorry, but I think that a lot of the things were pre-recorded. I mean, they said that it was live, but I don't believe them. Especially like when they were doing you know, It's All Over. Like that had to have been pre-recorded because there's just no way in hell you could possibly do that.
Sure.
Any of the duets. Now, I will say for one of the duets, it seemed like it was the duet between Curtis and
Dina. You Were My Dream.
Dina. Yeah, that seemed live.
I feel like it's live, but I feel like it's live, but the sound is only coming from one of the actors, either Curtis's mic. So like they were all on a Zoom that we couldn't see. And so if you and I are singing a duet, we're singing live together on a Zoom, but you have your mic off and I'm picking up you via my phone or my microphone.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That way you're not having people like having to like unmute, mute.
Right.
That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed all very complicated and very stressful.
Yeah. It sounded stressful. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how the next one goes. I'm a play girl. I'll come back into the musicals when they've figured it out. And maybe not. Maybe I won't. And I'll just have heard of it. And it was great. And it was a thing that I missed.
What we got? You're so good at keeping us on track. What do we have next?
We have the hot topics. I don't know if Kim will be back in time for us to give the skinny, but yeah. So we've got hot topics.
Okay.
I'm like, are we going to do a rendition of the song without Kim? I feel like it feels like blasphemy.
It feels like blasphemy, but if we have to, I think we can figure something out.
Okay. You're the musical person. You're the musical theater person, so I'm going to charge you to do it.
I was hoping you were not going to do that. Are we going into it right now?
Yeah. We're going into hot topics. Bring us in there, Jason.
Hot topics.
Okay, great. You just turned it into a bass slam poetry session. Great.
What is hot? What is topics?
Drew's like, you're all fired. We're gonna start with Phylicia Rashad is producing and most likely starring in a new TV project, which is pretty exciting. They don't know that she's starring in it, but that's the word on the street. It was on Deadline. Let me see if I can look up a little bit more information on that.
Yeah,
I'm like, Phylicia, okay, because
I read it and I was like wondering, is there a reason why it's being very heavily assumed that she's going to be the lead of it?
I mean, that's usually kind of what it happens. It says alumna Felicia Rashad has teamed with Virgin River executive producer Roma Roth and Chris E. Perry to executive produce and possibly star, schedule permitting, in a series adaptation of Emily March's ongoing 18-part novel series, Eternity Springs. The writer, John E. Prague, Beauty and the Beast and Everwood, is attached to pen the series adaptation.
Damn, y'all
Okay.
want Hot Topics?
Yeah, we missed
had
your...
to.
I'm
we
sorry,
have to.
you
We didn't know
guys.
we were gonna-
He's gone now. She's gone.
She's gone. Where'd she go?
Gone. She just left. I opened the door. She walked right out. It's like, no, her dad was coming to get her. So he's who was calling me, which
Got it.
makes sense because he's coming to get her, even though I thought that I requested that he text me. Maybe I forgot. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But she's gone. Ugh. You're like,
Do you want to redeem? Do you want to redeem yourself and play the theme song,
Do you want to play the theme song and redeem yourself?
Sure, I'll play the
Yeah.
theme song.
or redeem me because I had to improv?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
you
did a
sang a
spoken.
song.
No, he just did Hot Topics.
Oh, that's
That's
cute
it.
though.
She supports you. Everyone supports you, Jason.
Oh my God.
We love to talk about so much shit, so now it's time for Hot Topics.
Thank you. Even though Drew didn't like my song, but it's okay.
So we had previously talked about Felicia Rashad is going to be possibly starring and executive producing a new show with fancy people.
Well, this would be a big deal, right? Because when you think about it, it's not like Felicia's ever had a vehicle that is centered on her, where she is the lead of it in terms of TV. Correct?
Facts. Yeah, I can't think of one. That's true. Facts.
So that's
is
a pretty
true.
big deal for one of our theatrical ancestors and elders.
Hopefully, she'll be giving us full Claire Huxtable.
She's also a prime example. She's like
Her voice work is incredible. But
She's not Mid-Atlantic,
yes.
but she's definitely like she's speaking to you from a dream. She's telling you that she has done stuff.
You're breaking up, Jason.
Wait,
Uh,
say something.
Say something, Jason. You're breaking up.
Oh, wait, that might be my fault. I tried to edit his mic settings.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, say something now.
I'm here. We're talking about hot topics. We're doing things.
Great.
Yeah, we got you.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna retrack back and we're gonna go back to your Felicia Rashad impression. Thank you.
So she's not giving you like Mid-Atlantic, but she's speaking through you from a dream, and she's guiding you towards the northern star to freedom. And she's keeping you right on. She's speaking to you in hushed tones, poetic rhythms.
Why is your mouth so close to the camera? Why is your mouth so close?
Hello, my name is Felicia.
Wake
Yes.
up, my child.
Did you see
Wake
her in
up.
Gem of the Ocean?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so she did this voice that I don't even know. It's like I think she's played like 100-something-year-old or 300-something-year-old woman, but she does this voice, and it's just kind of like back here, and it's like a little Eartha Kitt, and it's a little James Earl Jones, and it's just like, and it's so startling. It's as if her voice is 300 years old, and that's all she can muster. It is incredible. So, Felicia Rashad, when you have your TV show, we can't wait to see it. We can't wait to see you. We love all things you. We can't wait to see what voice you give us.
And maybe it will result in a Emmy Award or Emmy nomination, since they never gave her one for fucking Cosby Show.
I mean, these people don't know what they're doing. They're not fair. But speaking of our elders, Douglas Turner Ward, founder of NEC, passed recently, who in 1976 co-founded the New York City theater organization, the Negro Ensemble Company. He died February 20th, the age of 90. His death was confirmed by the New York Times and his wife, Diana Ward. Through his work with the company, which saw works of play off-Broadway and Broadway, Mr. Ward established himself as a multidisciplinary theater creator, working as a director, actor, and playwright. Through all of his artistic endeavors, he remained stalwart in his ethos as an advocate and a voice of racial equity. So yes, speaking of the ancestors, he is really like one of the original founders of what we know Black theater, we would not have such luminaries of like Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson. So many people came through NEC, so many writers, so many actors. So let's have a moment for Mr. Douglas Turner Ward. Ashe.
Yeah,
Y'all
we would have a
think- y'all-
moment.
I always wonder if they think we're a hot mess.
Who?
What? Who?
The theatrical ancestors. I wonder if they're kind of just like,
Oh, I'm sure for me they're
if
like
they're just like,
this assimilationist bullshit.
Absolutely. They
All you all
absolutely would
want
not
is a
approve.
dollar from the white man.
Yes, they absolutely would not approve of any. I've been told how some of them don't approve of me. They've told me directly to my black face how
Listen,
they
and
don't
I will
approve
be
of
like,
me.
it's a
So,
new
and I'm
dog,
like,
it's a new
it's like talking to your grandma who you're like, I don't know if she likes me or remembers me. And she hits me a little, but I still am going to visit her. I'm still going to visit her and bring her food and eat her food, But that's how the ancestors are with me in the elders, the theatrical elders. Yeah, they
I had an internship at NEC.
Huh?
But I had an internship at NEC when I was in college.
Mm.
I was determined, but I couldn't do it. So basically what happened was I was determined to have an internship in New York City, like Whitney from like the Hills. So I applied everywhere. I applied to theaters. I applied to Nickelodeon. I applied everywhere. And NEC gave me the opportunity, darling. So I packed my bags to New York City. And on the way there, my housing fell through. And I decided to spend the summertime in Baltimore, Maryland, where I then interned at the UB Blake Center, which is also legendary in its own right. So I never got to do my internship at NEC, but I'm legacy adjacent.
The fuck is legacy adjacent?
The legacy is right here, and you have Denzel here, and you have Samuel L. Jackson here, and then you have Kimberly Exum right here.
Out of vision, out of reach.
Out of reach, but reaching as it's reaching over. Legacy adjacent.
so
Oh.
you're unbalanced.
Oh God, I approve of us, if that means anything. Speaking of approval,
Someone's got to.
Jeremy O. Harris is in theater news. Jeremy O. Harris of Slave Play, and I'm just saying that's my segue.
She just left. She just left.
Okay, well, while she's gone, while she's in the bathroom, Jeremy O. Harris of Slave Play and Aziza Barnes are going to, of the Blacks from MCC, are going to be collaborating on a TV show for HBO. The two playwrights will co-executive produce series based on the novel The Vanishing Half. Playwright Jeremy O. Harris. It is a novel. Two writers will let's see, with the writer. Yeah, it's this is like the third time I've actually heard the novel's
it's
name.
about light-skinned people. It's about that. My roommate is reading it right now. It's about it's two twin sisters or some shit. Anyway, continue. I know it.
There you go. Right. Published in 2020, The Vanishing Half concerns identical twins who leave their Southern Black community as teenagers. A decade later, the two lives of the sisters, separated by miles and lies, are completely different, yet their fates remain intertwined. So there you go.
It's about
one chooses to and one chooses not.
Yeah, one passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. And yeah, it's about race and shit. Who wrote this?
Interesting. I feel like
girl, biracial. I'm sorry, excuse me.
No, it's okay. I feel like what's interesting about this is like I'm seeing this storyline pop up a lot. Like I feel like what's the musical that Angelica Cherry has? That's like Broadway bound.
Gunpowder.
Yeah, that's sort of about these two like robbers, whatever, who are women. One like is sort of like more attached to her whiteness. One is like, no, I'm black. There's also that film Passing with Ruth Negga and
Tessa
Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tessa Thompson, directed by. Yeah, and it's directed by Rebecca Hall, actually. And yeah, it's about two sisters, one sort of choosing a life of passing, one not. I don't know. I will actually say I think they are sisters in that storyline as well. But that's interesting. Yeah. But yes, this is just Passing 2020. Yes.
And what's his name? The author, his name is Graham something. He wrote a series of books, one called Being People Like Us. Kind of problematic books, but like about like basically it's a bunch of books, historical books about like the upper crust of Black society, light skinned Black society. And you know, and their reckonings with being like oh shit, we're Black, you know, but like that kind of respectability politics thing. So I feel like that's a theme that I do feel like that's a theme that people are really wanting to explore.
But why the passing part though? Like I read a book called Negroland that is about the upper crust of Black society, but these are people that weren't passing. They were just upper crust of Black society, and they were in like Jack and Jill and all of those things. And, you know,
I mean, I think that there's something to be mined from it because we are having this interesting conversation about access, and privilege, right? And so we are having this conversation of like the nuances and the depth of that. And I think people are like, even though in today's society, the Black community does speak a lot about privilege and light skin privilege, but people don't really have the historical context and nuance. We just know because we know light field house, like field and house, right? Like that's kind of like how we always reduce it to that. And so it might be interesting to actually have more contemporary stories of light skin privilege and more contemporary stories of the complications of that, because we also are like, you light skin people have no problems, right? You have no difficulty. And so it might be interesting to see.
That's a different, I mean, to me,
yeah.
I mean, like there is light skin privilege and then there is like, you look white. Like I don't identify as a Black person who can pass for white. Right. So like, you know, that to me is very like, well, what kind of privilege is that? Like and then there's the conversation of like, well, if you look white, you're white, which isn't, I mean, it's like, then that brings up the whole thing of, well, what is race then? Like if my parents
and I think that's why these films are coming out though, because we have these conversations without any story context or any sort of, like there isn't a lot of dramatic context for these conversations, right? White passing, light skin, whatever light skin, Jack and Jill light skin, like, right? Like, and so we kind of know it in-house. Acting light skin, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like we know we have that conversation in, like, we know it kind of secretly and quietly, but not everybody really knows the nuances of that conversation. Right. I mean, they might all, you know, so we'll see.
Actually, I don't even really understand the nuances of that conversation because I don't really know. I do know, like, since I said I was looking at my genealogy, my ancestry, my dad was talking to me about his grandmother. And he was like, yeah, she could pass. Now, did she actively pass? Meaning, did she marry a white man and pretend to be white? She did when she went into Macy's and when she went to the good supermarket. But did she was married to a Black man, and then he died and she married another Black man and she had Black children. So in that sense, it's like, could she have passed if she wanted to actively be like, I have a white life? Yes. But that to me is a different experience than someone who makes the choice to say like, I'm leaving my past behind and I changed my life and nothing is going to stop me.
But I want to see that story. That's interesting. That's the idea of like, I can, because I don't have that privilege. I can't leave that because I passed for Trinidad. Like that's what I passed for. I passed for Jamaican. Like that's what I could pass for, right? But like, I think that's an interesting thing. Like the idea of like, if you had the choice to pick your privilege, would you do it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and so I'm just, and I think that those passing stories, I think, if they're good and nuanced, I think like dive into the ugliness of that, because it is an ugly thing to watch someone who is Black, who can pass for white, choose whiteness. I mean, you know what I mean?
It feels like such a betrayal, but it's like, I guess in a way, like, oh, thank you, Jeffrey, for noticing that I brought it back to Dreamgirls, because I feel like they did not notice that I brought it full circle. But thank you for noticing. But yeah, it's kind of like, it's something I don't understand, because I guess I wasn't born in that time. I wasn't proposed the option, and it doesn't seem like something that would be accessible to me. I don't think that.
But it might have been, because I look at the people who passed back then. I'm like, they look Black.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm always concerned about when we talk about passing. I'm kind of just like, it's also about perception, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
really, can anyone actually pass? Because the thing is, I'm realizing now that passing isn't necessarily passing for being white. It's just passing for not being black.
Passing for not being. Oh, that's a good point.
Because I look at these pictures, I'm kind of just like, no.
Yeah, some of them are like,
they don't look
oh, you're
black,
Brazilian, are you?
but they, honey, they don't look. I'm sorry.
My thing would have been the hair. That's what would have given me away because I have none now. But when I do have some, it's very fight the power to the people. So I feel like my hair would have given it away as far as like, I think maybe I could have pushed it like in a grocery store or a market. Maybe. I don't know if they had perms then. Maybe if I had a really relaxer.
That's what I mean. If you were able to straighten your hair, and white people don't know anything about hair. They don't know anything. And like, I mean, you could be like at that period of time, like they don't know anything. So they're just like, oh, you're like, you must be Italian. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
I guess maybe I don't. It's just very.
I'm from Spain. I'm from Spain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are so many ways in which
I know my aunt told stories about, and I have a picture of my aunt from when she was young, and she told me stories about her grandmother going into the market and passing, and she would go too because my aunt is light skinned, but she always had to wear a hat and keep her head down because her nose was too wide for her to actively pass. Which is interesting, like that her white passing grandma was like, listen, hon, you can come with me, but just keep your head down or else we gonna kick the fuck out and maybe kill.
And I think also it also depends on when passing is like when you're choosing to pass. I feel like someone who's like what passing is now in terms of someone actively choosing to pass is different in terms of they're trying to align themselves. Whereas back then they're aligning themselves, but it's really about like the sort of what kind of
it's life or death.
It's life or death.
Life or death.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of like y'all. I would love to be black, but I
want this organic chicken from Whole Foods.
You know, but there's like, but I want to live. I want to live.
Yeah. I like not having lashes on my back, so I'm just gonna go over here, and I know y'all understand.
Yeah,
and I know y'all get it.
There's an awesome book called Homegoing, and it's like it's this, you guys should read it. It's so good, and it spans like it's two different storylines through a family, and you follow the sisters through like these like 7 or 8 generations in Africa through Ghana, and then you follow one generation that's broken up because of slavery because he sold his daughter, and you follow 7 generations of slavery, and there is a little storyline about a man who learns he can pass. Right, and then kind of gets seduced by it, and it eventually leaves his family. Like there's like just like a little chapter about it, and so that one had just really fucked me up about like, oh right, like it was so much more complicated, like embracing that sort of privilege and being seduced by it, or yes, that Homegoing by Yagas, so passing stories
like that girl couldn't have passed. Sorry, people love to put that on Halle Berry. I'm like,
Halle Berry could have passed. She light skinned, but she
Halle Berry that's a black woman. I know that she's got a white parent, but
no, she can't pass. No, she's mixed.
Yeah, she's racial, but she would have. They would have been like, what is this nigga doing in our store? Like they would have not.
Yeah, they would have called her pretty. She would have been pretty. They would have enjoyed. Yeah, it's like very pretty. But what she doing?
Can you imagine someone being like a white woman going over and be like, "Come on,
what are you doing?
What are you?
What are we doing? What are we doing here? Just if you leave now, I won't make a scene.
It was. It is.
It was a follow-up.
It's a follow-up. It's a follow-up. It's a follow-up.
It was good. It was on BET all the time. Oh, Jennifer Beals did do her part. She did, because she's a white woman to me.
Jennifer Beals can pass and did it for a part of her career.
Yeah. She did. Mm-hmm.
She did. I mean, a lot of people do in Hollywood still. Like that guy was 2 guys, twins that were in Green Day, or I don't know what band, but their dad is. Yeah. People do. I mean, in Hollywood, even that guy, Rami. I can never get his name right. Rami, he passed because he didn't come out to me as being Egyptian until he came out with his show. Before he was on Nickelodeon, looking white as hell. Like,
I didn't know who he was until his show.
I didn't know that he existed. I'm a Caucasian, and the whole time he's like, I'm actually African. Like he's I don't think he was telling people like I'm white, but his, he was the show that he was doing.
Right.
He was.
I mean, there's a
white
very
man.
complicated conversation to be had about the Middle Eastern community and their ability to get to be white, and then their ability to not have to be white. You know what I mean? Like, there's a very like
Mariah
complicated
doesn't
conversation there.
She doesn't count as passing. Here's the thing: if we're talking about passing, my concept of capacity being like you don't pass for black, but to me, she just looked like a mixed girl.
I mean, she could have had she told, but she's always been very upfront and outright about what her background is.
Yeah,
and she's always embraced blackness. So could she? Does she have the ability? Yes, but is she? No.
Yeah, I would say
absolutely
passing is more someone who does not embrace.
Yes.
Whatever, and you have to kind of find out later on, or when it's of their benefit, right? When all of a sudden being of color is of benefit, then it's like, oh, I'm part black, and you're like, interesting. You were part black when okay, all right.
That's why in modern conversations, when we're referring to people as like white passing people of color, we have to be very careful because there's a connotation that person, just because that person is white passing doesn't mean that they don't identify as being black. They're not choosing to be. They just are, and they have benefits and privileges because of that. But if I'm a white passing black person, that has nothing to do with me being like, no, I'm black. Meaning that's how I identify. I'm aware of what my aesthetic is, but I think that when we see the word passing, it's also very easy to put onto that person. You are choosing to separate yourself from that. It's like, no, don't get twisted.
Right.
Yeah.
It's based on perception. Yeah.
I don't play with people who are white passing, but they are not. They're with their people over here.
Yeah, I think that is a different thing. Like, I think that people, sorry, this is going on for a long time, but I do think that like when we do talk about people, like if you're walking down the street and someone thinks you're white, then you're white no matter what your ethnic background is. But I also don't believe in like, erasing someone's cultural background or ethnicity. So if a white passing, like there's this guy on TikTok. I mean, when I say he looks white, but he is biracial. He is a black parent and he is a white parent. He is white passing. He looks white, but he does not, he presents physically as white, but culturally how he talks, his whole, he identifies as a black man culturally, and he does always talk about but it's like, I can't sit up here and call this man white, because when you do that, it erases everything in the, you know what I'm saying? It erases his cultural identity, but at the same time, you are white.
Right.
If that's what you look like in the eyes of the police, which is kind of how we gauge everything now. Right. You are white. You're not even exotic. Like, you're white. But I'm not going to sit up here and be like, if he says he's black, I'm not going to say, no, you're white, because to me that also it's two different things. It's culturally black, and and
there also too, you also don't want to assume that he's not unaware of
he's
what
very
he looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
somebody said, anyway. I forgot the hot topic that got us here.
The movie.
Jeremy Harris and Aziza.
Aziza Barnes. Yes, that show was. Yes,
I'm glad with this direction instead of the fuck slave play direction. I'm glad. Thank you.
Moving right along, we spoke about album releases, and we have another album release from a Broadway guy. Joshua Henry has announced that March 4th, he will be releasing his debut EP. So I'm excited about that. Showcases Joshua's immaculate, powerful voice and his intelligent storytelling background, brilliantly pairing themes of vulnerability, love, and hope born out of the pandemic. So yeah, he's giving us an album. Yeah, he's got vocals.
I'm a fan. I'm do it, man. Yeah.
So
whatever. Like,
I like this. People are here and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna drop an album. Like, maybe I'll drop an album.
Drop an album.
I don't have anything for you. I don't have any songs for you, but I just feel like they'd be like my rants. They'd be like, you know what?
Does it say,
on CD?
Maybe I wasn't listening. Does it say, is it going to be like, is it original music? Is it like spins on Broadway songs? Is it like, do we know what the album's supposed to be giving? Does it say?
Let's see. Lead single Hold Me explores the balance of relentless pursuit of dream while needing to ask for love and support. The track pairs Henry's regal falsetto with the rippling and kinetic neo soul production and was added to numerous playlists. Interesting. So yeah, it looks like this is a good question. Is this going to be originals, or is this going to be like? It looks like it's going to be looks like be originals, but it might be mixed in with some old songs. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be originals. I'm into that. I'm very into that. Yeah, I want to see your singer-songwriter thing, Jeremy. I mean, Joshua Henry. I'm into it.
I like him.
All right, album releases. Kim, when's your album coming out?
Oh, girl, I don't do music.
No? Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I actually do music because I made this whole theme song up, right? But I don't know. I'm not. I like to sing and I think it's fun, but if I were ever to be an artist, I would always go in the direction of like a Barbara, Judy, old school jazz. I would be giving you standards and jazz type, maybe original type jazz musics or tight harmonies or something. That would be cool, but I'm not interested in really being an artist. I think that's an entirely different career. And I'm already struggling trying to be multi-hyphenate within my career. So I'm not gonna.
No.
Yeah.
No. It takes so much of your own money. It's such an investment. If you're really going to do it seriously, I think I would do a project just for fun. But if you're trying to like break out into the music industry, it's not my, I'd rather act.
The music industry, I'm kind of just like, ooh, like, I mean, I know all entertainment industries are toxic, but the music industry, I'm just like, ooh, that's just.
I know. It's like, you just got to protect your whole neck.
Yeah, I my neck and my skin. Yeah. I'm kind of like, no, man. I've seen Sparkle too many times. I know.
Oh, goodness.
I love Sparkle.
Sparkle tells us what happens.
I've seen too many cautionary tales. Next thing you know,
too many cautionary tales.
I want to see some of this video.
On cocaine.
I want to see some of this video. I got the video.
The video for?
The video for his song.
For Joshua Henry's song. Yeah.
Little bathroom break. Let me see if I can find it or whatever. Hold up. Keep talking.
All right. Well, I don't want to move on, but we'll move on.
Just keep talking about how great he is. He's bad.
I saw him in Porgy and Bess, and I was like, is he single? These are the questions that I have. These are questions that are important to me.
He's dreaming.
I was like, that's a whole man.
He's not
single.
He's not. He's got a nice wife.
Oh, he got a baby. Oh,
he got a baby and a wife.
Oh,
yeah,
well, you have it to marry here, and I'll marry from afar. Thank you.
Where is? Oh, there we go.
I respect your love.
I think I've got it now. I think, my God,
she's looking. She's looking. Can you tell she's looking? Okay, but
you can tell. Okay.
She's looking.
Oh, it's still loaded. It's still doing the thingy.
Okay, great. What else?
Just play it whenever. Just keep going.
Okay, great. So we'll keep going. You'll play it when we get to it. The next thing is that Cynthia Erivo is branching out to making books. Adding to her already stellar roster of talent. Cynthia, we're going with the voices. Cynthia Erivo is now adding author to her resume. The Color Purple star and Academy Award nominated actress has been hard at work with her upcoming children's book, Remember to Dream, that is slated to debut in September 28th through Little Brown Books for young readers. We are thrilled to be publishing Cynthia Erivo's debut children's book and to partner with her to share the messages to dream big. The book centers on a mother and daughter who dream together beyond what the world has for them. The young protagonist goes to bed at night and dreams of being and going anywhere she sets her mind after her mother tells her. That's sweet. I like that.
Cute. I feel like is that the new wave, the children's book wave?
It is. Celebrity Hustle. I'm into it.
I need to get on it because anytime I hear someone like in the past 3 years, I'm like, they're doing a children's book. Like, I have a dream of mine to like literally have a Caldecott or a Newbery Award.
Is that for children's books?
Yeah,
I don't know what these
are. I love children's books. I love either illustrations or like writing them. It's like even when Lapita put hers out there, I was kind of just like,
I don't under. It's just it's interesting. I mean, I am a reader of children's books because I have a child. But if I did not have a child, I would not be reading children's books. But they're interesting because they aren't all created equal. Like children's books either have like I enjoy the children's books with narrative. So I do like and I like Dr. Seuss stuff. So I like silly narrative, and then you get the books that are just kind of like blue. pink.
Right,
Orange.
right.
Orange. Like, you're like, what is this?
I'm interested in the children's books that actually, there are children's books that are like to help kids get up to par with language. And then there are children's books that also help foster, no matter what the age is, to help them foster sort of imagination and how they ingest storytelling and how they start thinking about storytelling. And a lot of times that can be with more simplistic narratives and greater illustrations, like Christopher Alsbury, who did like Jumanji and It's Flight of the Zephyr and Polar Express. He did so many things with like illustrations and limited storytelling, but it still gets kids to like really start thinking in imagining the world they want to see it. So books like that, I think, are fantastic. Roald Dahl is a perfect example.
I like reading her imaginative books. I like voice books where I can do the voices. Like Obama has a nice children's book, but it's for like an older child. It's like, because it's literally like teaching you about historical figures in a way that a child, maybe about like 7 or 8, could absorb. And it's got some beautiful artwork in it. But that's cool, Cynthia girl.
Do it.
Yeah. I was in my composer's house with his kids and they were watching all these TV shows. And I was just like, I just need to create one good children's TV show and just fund my life. You know,
Tyler Perry's kids show on Nickelodeon is actually pretty good.
Oh,
I believe it. Show?
Yeah, I was doing a self-tape for a Nickelodeon show a while ago. And I was like, I am familiar with this medium, this Disney Channel medium, but I need more familiarity. So I went and I watched the new Raven reboot, which is actually really good. And then I watched Tyler Perry's kids show in a couple episodes, and Carl Anthony Cole from Martin, he's in that. It was a good show. I was like, this is actually a really good medium for Tyler Perry, because it's sitcom-y and the jokes are boom, boom. You got to be quick. And the jokes have to be enough for a like 12-year-old or 10-year-old to absorb. But then the parent sitting there watching it also has to be able to sit through it so the kid can watch it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's it's called Young Dylan. That's the Tyler Perry one. But yeah, it's a really well done medium. Like, you can't have a shit kid show or else a kid's not going to watch it.
I also feel like with children's books, the process, from what I've been told, of children's books is actually quite easy for someone of note or visibility to do, because you can create a children's book with the consultation of an illustrator and an actual author. Also, creating a children's book, if you've never written before, is an easier task, or a more seemingly easier task than being like, I'm gonna write my first novel. You know,
I feel like I do agree, but I also feel like children are the mediums have to be spot on.
Yeah, it's more collaborative though. Yeah,
aren't going to like it. I do like that about the medium. Like, you would think like, oh, it's just a kid's show. It's like you get a breakdown for like a Nickelodeon show. You're like, oh, it's just this. And you read that script, and that script is tight.
Yes.
Because they have. I mean, as someone who's been approached by like those like Disney things, like they have so many people working on it. So even if it's like your stuff or your show, there's like, you know, they have an animator, they have a whatever, you know, it takes so long. So like by the time you get to that, it's pristine. It's pristine.
Do y'all want to get into this Joshua Henry video?
Yes.
Okay. Let me make sure I can find it. Okay. All right, here it is.
Promises.
All these words in my ready?
Of course.
Oh, cute.
That's sweet.
Little touch. Is that guy? Is he of age? The young Joshua Henry, because he's very handsome.
He looked of age.
Okay, good, but he's
You can-
probably
you can
like
do-
21.
You can do some investigation work on that.
I'll be like,
I enjoy him.
I enjoy him, and you know who would? I mean, I know this is his song, but if he were to become like a writer, this would be a great song for like a CeeLo Green. Like,
Yeah.
like it sounds like he could definitely like cover this song. That was a really beautiful video. Hold me, but don't hold me back. Like, what a cute. Like, it's such a. That was great. Bravo, Joshua Henry. We love you.
We love you, Joshua Henry. We'd love you more if you had a brother, but it's cool. We'll
It's
do what we
fine.
can do.
It's fine.
Cool.
Nothing we can do.
It's fine.
He looks
Cousin,
good in
You can
orange.
wait for his son to grow up. Is it a son or a little
No,
girl?
I'm at my prime.
I'm
I'm
just
at my
joking.
prime. Hold me close. Don't hold me back.
That was inappropriate, guys. It was just a joke.
In our last little bit of I'm like trying to get this cursor to do what I need to do. Yeah. Okay. So in our last little bit of hot tops, it seems that Thoughts of a Colored Man has found themselves a theater.
A theater in the middle of a pandemic, darling.
Yes.
No
Keenan
one's coming, but the monkey is up.
Yes. Keenan Scott II, Thoughts of a Colored Man's author, has officially found a home on Broadway with its marquee newly installed at the Golden Theater.
Which is where Slave Play was, right?
Was it? You're such a hater. Anyway, the play is the first new show to take up residence at a Broadway venue since the coronavirus pandemic forced theaters to close on that fateful day, March 12th. The anniversary is coming up, y'all. Figure something to do. Do something nice for yourselves. And so he will be, they have a formal theater. The white people have committed. And so that theater is coming. Whatever theater is coming back, come hell or high water. So Keenan Scott II, good on you. Get yourself a Broadway debut. Like,
come on
Keenan
now.
Scott.
You better get your marquee.
Get your Broadway debut. You know, Stephen Broadnax, get that Broadway debut. Ron Simon, get that Broadway debut as first time being the lead producer on a show. Black men, get your Broadway debut.
Just don't have no rape in the end, and we'll be.
It's just Thoughts of a Colored Man. So
I mean, but we never know.
Anything
Thoughts of
can
a Colored
happen.
Man.
True.
anything could happen.
I don't know. He seems like a real one.
I'm just joking.
I guess
Congratulations.
my thing is, I guess it's like, how does this work when it's a question mark?
Oh, well, it's
when
a guarantee.
theater is a question mark.
When
it
opens,
yeah,
this is going to be. It's a guarantee. Like, it's not like. I think this is a. I mean, it's not a gesture. Clearly, there was paperwork involved.
Yes.
But
obviously.
this is the Schuberts, right?
I think
the Golden
is a Schubert.
The Golden Schubert. So the Schuberts right now are just their hand. Not their hand. Their entire arm and probably half of their body is in Black organizations right now. They're like giving people money and they're investing in all these other things and grants. So for them, I think that this is like, no matter what happens, if we don't debut open until 2030, you will be opening. So
cool.
I guess that's what it is.
Cool.
And because that show, I think Slave Play was at the Golden, I might be wrong, but if it was, that show closed. So it makes sense for them to put up a new marquee. And I'm hearing rumors of August now. September, August. So
it feels like it might be coming sooner than we think. But no one's no one's saying anything. Like, no dates are being given just to get the egg off their faces, I think, from all the dates that they attempted to give. Like, notice how we haven't heard about The Music Man with Hugh Jackman, Sutton Foster for the 10th time.
Hugh Jackman, Broadway's finest.
Yeah, so they've stopped doing that. Which we all appreciate.
Nobody cares.
White people care, but we're Black.
Listen, you know that my ass probably gonna be sitting there front row center in a lottery seat, like. and be on Instagram like, y'all, I just saw The Music Man. It was fantastic. Like, that's my whole MO. Just the ancestors are just angry.
Yes.
How dare you go see this when thoughts of a colored man is down the street?
Did you know that
We
in
will also be at
1956, The Music Man also usurped West Side Story for winning the best musical in the Tonys? White supremacy abounds, descendant. In front of your face.
My favorite thing is when Jason gets closer to the camera.
I love it, the intensity. You can tell he's been doing a lot of camera work and self-tape.
You can tell. So those are our topics. Oh, someone also asked for us to talk about Billie Holiday movie, but I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
So I
That's one
can't
of the
talk
ones
about
I
it.
fell
I've
asleep
seen
on
it.
Friday night.
I heard it's good. I heard that Andra Day is fantastic. in
I'm
it.
sorry. The work that she is doing in that trailer is fantastic.
It's fantastic.
That voice work.
I mean, her voice isn't that, far away, but for me, it's the speaking voice.
The vocal work that she is giving you and that Billie Holiday voice, right?
Is she like a
It's
Janelle Monáe?
incredible.
Did she start in theater or acting? Like, do we know? Because
Oh,
like
I don't
Janelle,
know.
I feel like a lot of people in our community have personal relationships with her. So I'm wondering if there is a connection, kind of like Lettucey was too. There was a connect. I feel like she's always been connected to the community in some sort of way. I also been hearing. I haven't seen anything on my page, but I've been hearing that there's a lot of like hateration in the dance theory about the piece. I don't know. I do know.
What about
that
it?
I don't know, but I do know
About the
an
Billie
earlier
Holiday
conversation
movie?
about the movie.
Sure. Lee Daniels is like touch or go.
One
That's
thing
fine.
that I've heard, that I was discussing with my mom, that when the casting came out, a lot of people, not in our, I don't think anyone that's in our industry or whatever, but a lot of people kind of like, she don't look like no Billie Holiday. I'm kind of like, we've been
Neither
so
did
trained
Diana
to
Ross,
associate-
y'all.
But I think that's why when you really think about it, when people think about Billie Holiday, they're still thinking about Diana Ross.
Interesting.
She looks closer to Andra. Looks closer to Billie
absolutely.
Holiday
But
than
if
Diana
you were,
Ross.
but if you were to survey a bunch of people and put up a bunch of black women from the time period and say pick up Billie Holiday, you'd be surprised how many people
They would
be able
go
to
her
do it.
because of that movie was so quintessential. Yeah.
Mhm.
That movie was good. Diana did that.
that
Diana
was
did
quintessential.
that.
Yeah.
She
But
did
but the vocal work that Aldra Day was doing that trailer, I was like, I want to take that master class because I was like, that sounds
She's
like
serving.
Billie.
I wonder
Yeah, so I'm
who the
excited. I'm
person
excited.
was. There's got to be a coach.
Her
a
voice
di-
person? Yeah, good
Yeah.
There
question.
has to be.
There
Yeah.
has to be.
But I'm excited just to see it for her work because I've heard that her work is really great. So
yeah.
I'm always excited to see like a new like actress who's like really fucking good that people are maybe underestimating because they kind of do something else. Usually it's usually not so great. And so like she looks like she's doing some great work. So it's always great to be like, ooh, let me catch somebody doing the damn thing.
I know.
Catching like actually like giving justice to a luminary. So that's pretty excited.
Let's see,
The ancestors will be
The ancestors would be smiling.
Sister Movie, please.
I listen. I love a star child. Let someone surprise me and be
Yes,
like, all right.
I love it. I love it.
I love being surprised. And her, I remember when she dropped like her music and she just had her voice aligns so well with Billie Holiday's voice that when I saw she was cast, I was like, oh, that seems like a perfect fit. I'm only worried about the acting because I have no idea what her background is in that.
Right.
Sure.
But she seems to be doing fab. I was more worried about when Audra did Billie.
Yeah, and Audra was
like,
quite good as well.
And Audra was fucking fantastic. I had my whole foot in my mouth. Like my whole body ate itself because I was just so, when I say I was so wrong for being worried, I was like, I just had never heard that color of her voice. But that, I mean, she murdered it. But
yeah, she imitated a whole new voice.
Yeah, she lost herself.
Maybe I'll watch some scenes though, because this is so sad. Like I don't want to be up here mourning, and I love Billie Holiday, and I always think about her heroin use all the time. And anytime I see a picture of her, I'm like looking for tracks, which sucks.
I also like that it's not the same typical tragic story about her. It's kind of like it's actually more of a story about just like what this country did to her, which I think is just something that we also still don't really know a lot about.
A lot of people don't know that story.
I didn't know that about it until Ngozi, because when the movie came out, I was just like, what is this? Like, what is the government killed her? I was like, no, she killed herself. She was on heroin. Like, what the fuck?
We had a whole talk about addiction and trauma and the government.
And I have a whole, like, you know, when addiction is kind of like a part of your space and you're not the addict, you just feel a type of way. You're just like, well, it's your fucking fault. You took the heroin. And in a way, like, yeah, there's some personal response. If we're 2020 in this bitch, there's some personal responsibility that's got to be had there. Like, you took the heroin, but she also grew up in a brothel. Like, you know.
Shit was
Whatever.
rough. Shit was rough.
Kind of
Sure.
rough.
So those are our topics. I hope they were hot
Those are
enough
good
for
ones.
you. Are we gonna move on to the listener letters?
Oh yes, we have a listener letter. Listener letters.
This on the last day of Black History Month.
That's as long as I can do it.
Also, Ngozi, I need to get this out of my system
There
because
we are.
I'll never let it go. When you say hot tops, my mind goes to a certain place, so I would implore you.
Oh, sure. We're living in two different cultures, you and
Otherwise, my 12-year-old
Hot
brain will never.
topics.
I'll never.
Right, got it. Right, we're rocking in two different systems. Topics. I will add
So
the picks.
we
I will add
actually
the
have
picks,
two
yes.
listener letters. I'm glad that I did that.
That's fine.
My breath support is really, really great. Okay.
Oh
So the
God.
first letter is, Dear Drew and Guzzy and Kim, I'm a college student with an interest in stage management and working as a producer. Stage management is my primary focus, but I have wanted to think about my career long term and how I would be able to get my footing as a producer and all that it entails. I was just hoping you all would be able to provide some insight on how one gets started as a producer and how producing works overall. And this is from Malacia Carter, she, her pronouns.
Cool.
So,
Well, it depends. So producers do there are different kinds of producers. Essentially, a producer is someone who helps make a project happen. And that might mean in the very crass sense, which is just like they get the money, and then there's a line producer who like literally kind of makes sure that everything is on top of everything. Stephen Bird, I want to say, I don't know if the application is up, but Stephen Bird, look up Stephen Bird and producing fellowships. And I want to say that there was a fellowship, Malaysia, I'm going to assume you're Black, and said I want to say it was for BIPOC aspiring producers who want to apply for this kind of free fellowship, and they will teach you kind of like how to produce, and that's from like the Broadway angle. So if you're looking to do that, but I would say the best way to get started is like interning. I know we've all been talking about like white supremacy and interning is free work and how that
intern.
Period. Also, every producer I've ever spoken to has said before you get to that, if you're trying to spread those skills now, if you're in college, I think she said she was in college, correct? Mm-hmm. You can literally produce something if you have a friend or you want to produce a reading of a play, you can produce that right now. Because producing is also about the gathering of the artists, the gathering of the collaborators, the gathering of someone to be like, hey, we need to get $75 just for snacks and food. Find someone who's got $75 for snacks and food.
To me, that's the hardest part, is the money part. Like that part's kind of intimidating for me, is like finding money or making a budget and all that stuff. Like that's like completely Greek to me. But like the college producing it is actually quite easy, especially if you're an upperclassman. They'll just do whatever the fuck you say. And it's also easier to make money in undergrad because, I mean, you can literally like sell candy like they do in like you could do almost anything in undergrad and it just flies, at least back when I was in undergrad, which wasn't that long ago. So I'm sure that it's maybe the same now. I know that somebody offers a producing class. I want to say, is it Ken Davenport? Is it somebody with a white person with a longer last name? I can maybe look that up for next time. I can't remember, but I think it's Ken Davenport. He's a producer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He, I think, offers a class, and he's also a little bit, I think if this is Ken, he's and he's white, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, but he's more active.
He's actually half Southeast Asian.
Oh, okay, Ken. Didn't know that.
There you have
it. White passing. So Ken, I think this is Ken who I'm talking about, but he's more active on social media, and he has like an active Facebook page, and he has like programs that you can get into. A few producers actually do offer classes. Broadway producers offer classes on what it is that they do. And also, since you are Black and since we are in this movement, they're capitalizing off it. So can you. You can literally write letters to these people's offices, get you some IMDb Pro or IMB, whatever the Broadway is, and look up the producers.
IBDB.
IDBD. There's also a fellowship. Is it IBDB?
Google it, Moesha.
IBDB.
Yes.
IBDB. There's also a fellowship at the National Black Theater that I applied for producing.
Yes.
And that actually offers a $10,000 stipend if you were to get that. And it's from like August to you can go on the website and look at it. They offer several fellowships. I encourage y'all to look at NBT because they do great things, and it just kind of slips under the radar unless you just know. So they have a fellowship as well. And yeah, producing, there's so many different aspects to it. It's literally like when someone says they're a producer, they could mean anything. They could literally be like, I developed the concept. Like I can say like, I can go to Ngozi and be like, I want to do a play about this. And technically I'm a producer because I'm now employing her, or I've given her an idea. And she's like, I like that idea. I'm going to write off of that. I've produced an idea. A producer could just be someone who's just like, I mean, it gets deeper than that. But in the beginning, like, I want to do this. Write me something like this, and you're a producer in that capacity. Then you're the person it's so much. And for stage management is a lot of like knowing people and knowing stage managers. So a great thing to do is look up the shows on Broadway. If you're into Broadway, look up who the ASM is, not the head stage manager, unless they're an alumni of your school, but who the ASM is. You can also drop letters at the stage door. They might not read them, but my stage manager has read some of them and has allowed people to, but you have to be specific in what it is that you want. Because stage management is it's such once they're on, and it's not going to serve you to shadow them because it's show specific. You know what I mean? So unless you're coming in, you want to work at the Book of Mormon, which you can't because they never leave. Stage managers, they don't hop show to show like us. Unless it's like a director like pulls them and it's like, I want you to open this show. It's going to be a hit, but they don't do that. So you have to be specific in what it is that you want and need as a stage manager. And if you want to reach out to them, but your alumni network would be great. Is just a great tool because they are, and once you're in, you're in. And it's also good for stage managers to align themselves with directors and writers. So if you are stage managing, it's great to just actors do not matter. We can't get you a stage managing position, but a writer and a director, they can or anyone who's behind the table. I would say more so a director. Yeah, because the director needs a stage manager. Yeah, the stage manager helps them run the ship. You connect to those playwrights in your school that are promising, and eventually, when they're going to put up a show, they're going to use you as their stage manager. So,
Cody, I want to say also has a scholarship.
Cody, I was about to mention Cody.
Yeah, so he has a scholarship program and also a fellowship, I want to say, I don't think it's just for stage managers, but it definitely includes stage managers and just people in the arts. So just, look up a Black Theater Coalition, and I feel like they have information about that scholarship on there as well. But I mean, Google is your friend. I just want to say, like, the majority of the things that I found as far as applying for fellowships and grants and things like that, I just looked up. I was like, Black Playwright Grant, Black Playwright Fellowship. I just looked it up and saw what come up, and things has come up. So while we're giving you this information, don't be afraid of Google, because there's just new stuff popping up all the time for people who have a lot of experience and no experience. So
because he's like, apply for everything. My mom, that was my mother's philosophy when I was going to college, and I was such an idiot and I did not follow it. And I feel dumb because now I have so many student loans, and there was a high possibility that I could have at least gotten one full year covered by grants. But when you don't apply for everything, it's just a symptom of laziness and ego, which is fine, but you'll end up paying for that in the end. So apply for everything, y'all. Apply for everything. We have another listener letter.
All right, let's go.
Oh, did you want to say something?
No, that's fine. Did you want to say something, Jason?
No.
So this letter says, just caught up on past episodes. Here's my 2 cents and comments on a few things. Ngozi, thanks for sharing your acting writing journey so randomly and transparently. It was very inspiring, and you kept it real. That segment was iconic and a reminder that talent isn't enough. It takes tenacity and balls too. You're the truth, Ngozi. Your sister is too. You're lucky to have her.
Random and transparent. I'm gonna put that on my Instagram. Random and transparent.
Add it to
iconic.
Add it to your email signature.
Okay.
Personally, I like Kim's choice for the Hot Topics jingle. I'm a minimalist in many ways and strongly believe that less is more. But with art, sometimes more is truly more. It's all subjective anyway. Lots of folks don't use Beyonce's maximalist arrangements, and look at her. So yeah. Plus, Kim served an original tune with an original arrangement and probably did it with her daughter climbing all over her. Like, who else is greater than Kim? Also, that Crest commercial is everywhere, Kim. I can't escape it. Congrats. Has your daughter
Kim,
seen it? If so,
Kim, you wrote
what
this
is
shit.
her? I did not. I swear to God, I did not. What is her reaction to seeing you on TV? Does she understand her mom is doing the damn thing? This person really loves me. It's really not me. Personally, wait. And a word on not knowing folks. I get it. I mean, I didn't know those two guys either. If I never turned into the podcast, I would never know any of y'all, to be honest. And Drew, you met me in real life like 3 times and you still don't know me. So let's give Queen Kim and Queen Ngozi some grace on not knowing people. It's fair. LOL. Love the show, y'all. Wishing you a great week. XOXO. And I don't know if I'm going to say his name.
Is it anonymous?
Naaman Eugene. No, it's not anonymous.
Okay.
Naaman or Naaman Eugene. Thank you, boo.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. And yes, cold reading is one of my superpowers, darling.
It is. It's true.
Thank you. What
Oh
a
my
great
goodness.
Somebody
What
likes my song.
a lovely way to close.
Yeah. Oh, and it was Ken Davenport. I don't know if I put that up there, but if you listening, but okay, yeah, yes, give us some grace. We don't know everybody in the community.
You know, there are a lot of Black people. I know we do a lot
there's a lot of them.
We do a lot of complaining, and we won't stop. That won't stop. I want to be clear about that. But as if there are none of us and just 5 of us out here. But there's a lot of us out here, and so it's actually a beautiful thing when I'm always like, I thought I knew all the Black people, and then you just realize I don't know. I already know there's 200. God damn.
There's a lot of them. Like, if we were to have a party, because there's also there's crowds, like there's cliques, and sometimes it's just like I don't think I'm in any clique of. I mean like the Jason VC. I feel like I'm more so aligned now with the Strange Loop clique, like the Strange Loop nigga.
You're the Strange Loop like you're the other cast member. If there's if they allowed for a non-queer person to be in the cast. Yes. If there's a non-queer.
Oh yeah. You're honorary.
You're like the cisgendered lady.
I'm also straight though, which we discussed yesterday. Like I'm trade. Like I'm not even.
Trade. I still don't know what trade means, but I'm excited. I'm excited to event. No, I don't want to. I my goal is to get it through context clues.
Okay.
Through comprehension. Like I still don't get it. Like I used to listen to Danye a lot, so I'm just gonna read more Danye and hope that I can actually
use Urban Dictionary.
No. I want to be able to learn it through just vernacular, and if I can do it for vernacular and then be able to explain it to a straight person, then I would have truly learned the ways.
I will,
but
I'm
behind. I don't know it. I don't know it.
Because I feel like it's a multifaceted concept.
I know, and I'm like, oh, it's that's not. It's
Jason's like.
Jason's like, I have faith in you, Gozi.
But that's kind of like
you're gonna figure it out, and you might wake up and be like, you're gonna realize you're like, oh, I'm trade.
I hope. I aspire.
But I guess
I aspire. I do. It sounds like a compliment. So
well, it's kind of a read.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like
it's a read. It depends on how you take it.
Delectable, but a little
it is delectable.
A little delectable, a little trashy, a little out there in these streets, a little thoughty.
There's there's a dash of toxicity.
Yeah,
a dash of thought. A couple dashes of toxicity in there.
Yeah,
and
dash of thought,
and a lot of patriarchy. It's like patriarchy.
Okay. Well, then I still don't know what it means. Then I'm just gonna be clear. I still don't know what it means. I still don't get it. And I think we've done it, y'all. We've done off book. This was the show. I think this is the show that they're gonna
This
get.
was the show.
The show.
Any closing thoughts? Are y'all gonna tune into Dreamgirls Celebrity? Oh, I forgot to take Hot Topics off. Damn it. See, every time I forget. Listener letters. This is what it was supposed to be. Listener letters. It's fine. And I have a whole outline that I made for Darius to I'm just not it's too hard to it's like this, like moving, like it's like, what is this? Like, what's that futuristic show where they've got like stuff and they're like moving things?
Minority Report?
Yeah, maybe that's it. They're like,
yeah.
shoo, shoo. That's what this feels like. Shoo, 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 shoo. Anyway, okay, all right, okay.
Well, everyone, thank you for the disclaimer.
Any parting thoughts?
Parting thoughts. Today is the last day of Black History Month. But I'm always Black. Jason?
Since it's Black History Month, let me see. May you all stand on zero on the stage of life and represent the theatrical ancestors with pride and amazing diction. Know who you are, children. Know who you
Remember.
are.
Thank you. And Kim.
How can I follow this? I feel so weird. I feel like I'm on Snatch Game.
Okay.
And I'm like, and RuPaul's like, so you have nothing to say? I'm like, no, nothing at all. Nothing. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say. I've said
all right.
it all.
All right. She said it all. So we've hit our place. We've hit our marks.
Mm-hmm.
We've hit our marks and we've done it well.
Mm-hmm.
This is Off Book. Go ahead.
I'm Ngozi Anyanwu.
I'm Jason Vesey.
And I'm Kim Exum. Oh, by the way, y'all, Jason is going to be subbing for Drew for like the next couple weeks. So just
get into it. Get packed in.
Y'all said we had good chemistry, so he's hired. Okay?
Yeah, if you have a problem, you can find me in my DMs and we can handle it there.
We can handle it there. If you have a problem, write us. Do your jobs. Also,
write us.
Do your job.
Also, if one of y'all wants to do, sorry, this is going on.
I said what I said.
If one of y'all wants to do, I said what I said, please have a story to share or a question to ask, email us. offbook@broadwayblack.com. offbook@broadwayblack.com.
Nice. Okay? Yes.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And we appreciate the listener letters, but we do need to do an I said what I said because we have been doing them and it would be great if one of y'all could do it. Okay? All right. I'm going to play the song Toodaloo, bitches. Let's see if we can get this started. Fuck.
There's only one place to learn the latest. Cha-cha-cha. There's only one place to hear the greatest. Cha-cha-cha. There's only one place for your information. It's the Off Book.
See what I did there?
Podcast. Off Book. Podcast. Okay.
No other hosts like me. Come check it out. You'll see.